People quietly judge it when they see you replaying the same old videos, scrolling back to the same photos, rewatching that one movie you already memorized. They call it obsession, immaturity, an inability to move on. In a world addicted to what's next, revisiting what's already lived is seen as weakness, as if safety itself is something to be ashamed of. But what most people never stop to consider is this. Rewatching old memories isn't about escaping reality. It's about regulating it. It's not nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. It's self-preservation. Because the truth is, the human brain doesn't crave excitement as much as it craves predictability. And when life becomes chaotic, loud, and emotionally unsafe, the mind instinctively reaches backward, not to live in the past, but to anchor itself. Old memories don't surprise you. They don't betray you. They don't suddenly change the rules. They are familiar territory in a world that feels increasingly unstable. That's not weakness. That's intelligence adapting to threat. People who replay old moments are often the ones who felt deeply too early. They learned that new experiences come with emotional risk, disappointment, loss, overstimulation. So instead of chasing novelty for validation, they return to places where their nervous system can finally exhale. The past becomes a controlled environment, one where emotions are known, endings are certain, and nothing can hurt you in ways you haven't already survived. There's a type I call the silent observer. This person isn't stuck in the past because they can't move forward. They're there because they see patterns others miss. They remember how things felt before life demanded performance, before constant availability, before every moment needed to be documented and judged. When they rewatch old memories, they're not just remembering events, they're remembering versions of themselves that felt more whole, less fragmented, less monitored. It's a quiet rebellion against a world that never stops watching. Then there's the betrayed soul. These are people who trusted deeply and paid the price for it. They loved, opened up, believed in others, and learned that safety can be temporary. For them, old memories aren't just comfort. They're proof. Proof that happiness once existed without strings attached. That connection didn't always come with anxiety. Rewatching the past is how they remind themselves that warmth is real, even if it feels rare now. It's not that they can't trust again. It's that they're selective with where their emotional energy goes. Another type is the emotional archivist. This person stores memories the way others store valuables. They don't skim through life. They absorb it. They notice tones, pauses, small details that most people forget. When they revisit old moments, they're not clinging. They're studying, integrating, making sense of how they became who they are. For them, memory is identity. Rewatching isn't stagnation, it's reflection. And then there's the nervous system regulator. This is the person whose body remembers stress even when the mind tries to ignore it. For them, safety isn't philosophical, it's physical. Old songs, familiar scenes, repeated videos calm their heart rate, slow their breathing, ground them. In a world that constantly pushes growth without rest, they instinctively create their own refuge. They understand, even subconsciously, that healing isn't linear. Sometimes stability comes before progress. What connects all these people isn't fear of the future. It's awareness of emotional cost. They know that constantly chasing newness can be exhausting. That reinvention, when forced, can feel like self-erasure. So they revisit what's known, not because it's better, but because it's honest. Familiar memories don't ask them to prove anything. They don't demand explanation. They simply exist. Society glorifies moving on quickly, forgetting faster, replacing rather than processing. But the mind doesn't work that way, especially not for those who feel deeply. Rewatching old memories is often the mind's way of saying, I need stability before I can expand. It's the emotional equivalent of sitting in silence after noise, of returning home after being misunderstood for too long. And here's the part most people miss. Those who revisit the past often build the strongest futures, because they don't rush, they don't numb, they integrate their experiences instead of burying them. They know where they've been, which means they're less likely to lose themselves trying to become someone else. Their growth is slower, quieter, but rooted. There's nothing broken about finding safety in what once made you feel whole. The danger isn't remembering, it's pretending you were never affected. Old memories aren't chains unless you let them define you. For most people, they're anchors, and anchors don't stop movement. They prevent drifting. So if you've ever felt guilty for replaying old moments, understand this. You're not stuck. You're regulating. You're protecting something fragile but valuable inside you. And in a world that constantly pulls people apart, that kind of self-awareness is rare. So, which of these types feels closest to you? Or maybe a little bit of all of them? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this made you think different, hit subscribe. We go deeper every day. Don't forget to like the video. It helps more people find messages like this. And if you want to connect with people who think like you, join our Discord community. The link is in the description. Channel Mind Unfueled isn't just a channel, it's a mindset.